Well, good morning, Battles. It's Chaplain Covington. Just excited to share with you our Monday motivation. And today we're going to talk about the idea of passing the torch. We've all seen the image of the Olympic torch being passed from one runner to the next as the flame stays lit and continually is passed on until it reaches the site of the current Olympics. It's a great metaphor as we think about our lives, as we think about the things that we pass on to other people. It takes on added significance as we think about passing on the torch of our faith from our generation down to the next generation. As we begin today, I want us to think about an interesting story from 2 Kings in the Old Testament. It's the story of Elijah and Elisha. Now, it's an interesting story because Elijah is like the old prophet. He's been charged with God to speak God's word to the people, and he has this mantle of authority. Well, he knows that his time's kind of coming to the end, and so there's this young prophet named Elisha that has been charged with, that Elijah's been charged to pass the mantle off to, and he's a little reluctant to do that, but he tells Elijah, he says, Elisha, if you see what God's about to do, then you have the authority. You have the authority that I have. And so what happens is God takes him up into the clouds, and his mantle, this cloak that he's worn, comes down out of the clouds. And Elisha picks it up, and now he has this mantle. The torch has essentially been passed. Now he has God's authority to speak for God to the people. We see this happen all the time of passing on a torch, passing on a mantle, passing authority from one generation to the next, passing truth from one generation to the next. So this morning, I just want to give us three things that we need to think about as we think about passing a mantle or passing on the torch. The first is this, that sometimes God asks us to put down the mantle, but sometimes God asks us to hold on to it a little bit longer. Sometimes we're ready to get rid of something, and God says, hey, the time's not right. I need you to hold on to this and keep doing this a little bit longer. The second thing is sometimes we are like that young person coming along, and God's inviting us to pick up and run with something that someone else is finished with or someone has passed on to us. Maybe you're called to be the person to hold on to it, but maybe you're called to be the person to pick it up. And the third thing is this, all the time we're called to pass it on. There's never not a time we should be investing in the next generation. We should be pouring into those that are coming behind us. We should constantly be passing the torch. Now, the idea of passing the torch is crucial based on trust. We have to be willing to trust. Having faith really means to trust. If we have faith in God, it means that we trust God. If we have faith in our leadership, it means that we trust them. If someone has faith in us, it means that they trust us. And in addition, the other thing we've got to understand is that change is hard. None of us like change. And when we talk about passing the torch, it's inevitably going to mean change. That we're called to take something that we've held on to and loved for a long time and give it to someone else. Sometimes, even though it may be joyful to no longer have to have that responsibility, it still is hard because the new person may do it differently than us. We've got to trust God and be willing to let go. So my question for you on this Monday motivation is this, is how will you respond to God's invitation to pass the torch? Maybe he's calling you to set something down. Maybe he's calling you to pick something up. Maybe he's calling you to pass something along to somebody new today. I guarantee you that what he's calling you to do is to take a faithful step. Whether that step means to hold on a little longer, whether that step means to pass on to somebody else, or whether that step means that you yourself pick something up. Friends, it's an honor to serve you, to serve with you, and to share God's word with you today. I hope you have a great week. I hope you're inspired. I hope you're challenged. If you ever need to talk, I'm just a phone call, a text message, or a group me message away. I love to be there for you, to talk to you, to pray with you. Whatever you need, I'm here for you, as is our entire ministry team. Have a great week, and go out and pass the torch and invest in the next generation faithfully.